we're gonna cook our signature dish, which is the 32 ounces Creekstone Farms Tomahawk.
And Chef, what makes this a tomahawk steak?
So the tomahawk steak, it's technically a ribeye. If you take the bone off, that's gonna be a ribeye. If you cut the bone a little bit, it's gonna be cowboy steak. If you use the ribeye with this long bone, that's gonna be the tomahawk.
Got it. All right, so this is what makes it a weapon.
Exactly.
And like any good ribeye, I see a lot of good marbling right there.
Exactly. So that's what is making the difference. Because as much marbling you see on a piece of a steak, that's as much rich in flavor and texture it will be.
So because this is cooking with wood fire, you're gonna be cooking this steak right over these embers here?
Exactly. We're gonna use one of the Firewood's oven. So we're gonna season it really well because it's a really thick cut. This is a blend of sea salt, black salt, and smoked salt. So we have to make sure there's a good amount of pepper.
Yeah, I can't get over how
Yeah.
just how thick of a cut of steak this is right here.
Yeah. Believe it or not, this Firewood oven, it's making a really good job cooking these thick cuts. What's your preferred temperature?
I'm a medium rare kind of guy.
Or medium rare. This is gonna be ready like around 10 minutes.
All right, let's do it.
I'm gonna start cooking this nice and beautiful piece of meat.
All right, so we got some more wood up inside.
Yeah, so-
Oh,
That's a Firewood oven, 600 degrees. So basically the ratio on the firewood and charcoal, that's 60% charcoal, 40% firewood. Why? Because if I do only firewood, the protein is gonna get sour and it's gonna taste really intense. So we don't want that.
and so 600 degrees, I mean, you're gonna be able to get a sear and a crust on this that I'm not gonna be able to get in my home oven.
No, definitely not. So we're gonna pull this a little bit.
And cooking with fire, I mean, you're not setting a button for 600 degrees and saying that's it. I mean, you have to be staying right on top of this thing the whole time, right?
Yeah, definitely. You have to feed the fire very often, giving some firewood, giving some charcoal.
And then maybe take a little break in the walk-in freezer just to get your body back to
Not
regular
really, we don't really have a time for that.
Take a cold shower when you get home.
Yeah. This is the lava hot stone. We just put the stone into the firewood oven too because that's what we're gonna use to serve it to the guests.
I guess so you want that to be nice and hot.
Exactly,
when the
nice
steak
and
goes
hot because we're gonna set a couple things on top. All right, so we're gonna close this because we really want the steak to absorb all the flavors, all the smoke, and all the heat. So
in. Beautiful.
we're gonna have this cook for a few more minutes. I'm gonna pull the lava stone out of the oven. Then we're gonna take the tomahawk out and we're gonna set on top of the stone. On top of that, we're gonna finish with a bone marrow butter and some herbs like a sage, rosemary, and thyme. Then we're gonna take it to the table for a tableside presentation.
All right, chef. I was already excited in the kitchen, but it looks like the show is about to go on.
Definitely. So we're gonna put a little bit of mezcal.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Just a dash.
Just a little bit.
Love it.
You have to make sure the flame is getting in between the herbs because we want the flame reach the butter. Let's put a little bit more. What about that?
Why not? Why not? Wow. And of course, the aroma that I can already pick up from it.
You can feel in the whole room.
You can see it, you can hear it, and you can smell it.
Yes, definitely. See the bone marrow batter? This is spread a little bit. So we're gonna cut this. We're gonna put the bone right here.
And I can see it's a nice medium rare in there.
I know that's what you like, right? A lot of times we recommend the guests to keep in the zone just to see probably one of you guests doesn't like that temperature and we can just leave it on the stone for a little bit and we can continue in cooking until what the guests desire.
Well, I'm not gonna be waiting around today, chef.
So
I'm getting right
let's
to it.
spread a little bit of lemon. Spread a little bit of chimichurri. Do you like chimichurri?
I sure do, chef.
A little bit salt. That's smoked salt and regular sea salt.
So we got lots of flavor and lots of smoke too.
All right, so let's start with this.
Wow, chef.
Provecho.
Of course, let's do it. Oh, knife goes right through.
How's that?
That is flawless.
Also, you can feel the acidity a little bit from the chimichurri.
Well, there's a nice little acidity coming from that, from the charred lemon as well. And I love too that you've got that great sear on the outside, nice and crisp. and smoky, but the inside still so flavorful, so juicy.
And think about, it's really hard to give a nice flavor to this cut because usually the tomahawk is very thick. It's kind of hard to get flavors inside on the cut, but since we have this firewood oven, and since we have this stones, since we have the mezcal and the herbs and the torch, it's definitely given what the guests need.
Hey, Seth here. If you want to discover more of the incredible restaurants in the DMV, hit subscribe. Thanks for watching Signature Dish.